Good afternoon, everybody. I'm just getting in from work. I wanted to say hello. I can tell from my face I look tired. But it's Tuesday evening. I know yesterday was a holiday, but I wanted to come and talk to you tonight. We're going to talk briefly about Liberia. We're going to talk about the U.S. and then we're going to talk about Africa. We're going to talk about Uganda. Um, yes, I made this right here. This is an African proverb, okay, and I wanted to share with you all. Okay, this is it right here. Um, okay, and it says, "When there is no enemy within, the enemies outside cannot hurt you," and those are facts. Okay, when there's no enemy within, the enemies outside, no matter how many, they can't hurt you. So this brings me to another story here. Um, until we learn to prioritize the continent, I would say in my Ibrahim Traore voice, not verse, but voice, the uh, the mainland or the motherland, that's what it's gonna be. I'm gonna pull this up. Those out there from Uganda, from the from East Africa, all of you, at this point, the presidents within that area should be calling out Museveni or Museveni, whatever his name is at this point, and his children. You should be calling them out at this point. Okay. And let me keep telling all of you, listen, freedom is never given. It must be taken. It must be taken. Look at these people. This is the 80 some more years old man right here. Okay, the father, the son, the general for the army, the chief of defense, the daughter, the governor at the bank, okay, the wife, the education minister, all right, the brother, lands and mines or land, whatever you call it, and just the family, okay. And that despite my point. My point here is he did not win the election. He did not win the election, but I'm going to come to that. I'm going to come to Uganda later. I wanted to start with Liberia and the people of Liberia, Liberians in the diaspora. Those of you who are calling the authority on other Liberians. I don't normally talk about Stanton, but I'm going to talk tonight about him. Okay. Let me say this to all of you. What happened with Stanton in this country, or whatever he did in this country, or what he's done, okay, he went to court. It's thoroughly documented. You don't have to call immigration on him. Okay. And then you also have to look. Have you looked to see the people that the president of this country has free or pardon have passed and not hold accountable? Have you? And let me come back again. I made I sent made a note today advising one of my children, my young people, and somebody came under the post and asked me if I regretted going to the U.S. Congress. No, I don't. No, I don't. as it stands, if America was what it was under Biden, okay, some of our join the Ugandans would be in Washington, would be at the Uganda embassy, okay. Some of us would even be at the Liberian embassy, and all the Eastern African embassy would be out there. And let me tell you why. Matthew Innes was called from his house to carry document after the $16 billion were missing. The Crow report still say that it's in the Crow report. I have a copy. All right. You see, I see some of you come at me, but not everybody that advocate in Liberia or anywhere else, we are all different people, different belief system, different morals, okay, different upbringing, and have a different, like I said, different belief system, principle. All right. I'm not everybody. I don't say stuff and come back and apologize. I say what I mean what I say. Hey, Eric. And that's what I've always said. Mr. Peabody, welcome. All right. That's what I've always told you guys. That's why when I speak, I give you references. Even when I write, I go back looking for sources. Okay. As an educator, I will always reference what I say to you and tie it into either into history, or I will give you a citation to that. That's me. All right. Somebody asked me if when I testify, no. My uncles were killed at the beginning of the war. My grandparents were also killed at the beginning of the war. You know, I'm going to stop a little bit and acknowledge. Today, I saw on Facebook that Joel Howard Taylor lost her only child. I think it's a son. Let me say this. No mother, no parent should bury their child, especially it's within their control. Some of us know that pain so well. Our parents lived that pain so well because of the greed of Liberians for power. Our uncles, our cousins, our brothers were murdered, and our grandparents live with it. Nobody, no parent should bury their child. And I will stop there. I will say no more. Those of you who know me, I speak my truth and I stand with my truth. That's just me. Yes, if we have had a president that has certain principle, we will be in Washington. So I have no regret. The day that I protested, the time we protested, asking for sanction, some of you who come in honor of my post and put it on, if you had told we are within that year, 2018, 2019 beginning, and he has changed and worked for the Liberian people, y'all will not be running all over the place, stretching like I'm stretching. Y'all will still be sitting on this platform and telling us you will stay long inside. You will talk till you tired. That's what you will do. You are jealous. Oh, we are used to sleep with you because you don't want you now. That's what you are talking. Go get married. You are elitist. I heard all of that. It didn't bother me. I continue to speak. So let me say to those of you here, Brother Joe, let me say to those of you who ask me if I regret it, no, I don't. Matthew Innes was called from his house to carry his computer. They took his car. They carried him and deposited him to St. Moses and say he died. Nobody saw the dead body. They say he was in an accident. They took his car from the accident side, the NSA. Bala Koli had been burned in his car, going to Babalu with money. Should I continue? Should I continue? 3 missing boys went to go work to Jamaica Resort and they didn't return. See, Moses was running away to go to Togo. They brought him back. Guess what? They told he can stay and they gave him more contracts. Money was running out of the country. Zina Miller had been beaten to death. Journalists were being arrested, beaten. When our people protested, they were pepper spraying them and water hosing them. So no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I don't have no regrets. I wish we had listened. Because some of you who asking, you didn't mean well for we are, because so long you and your family were there and collecting, you didn't mean well for the country. I meant well. If we have stopped and thought a little bit and said that dry lady that talks a lot, sometimes she makes sense. Let me listen. He did not. When I sat on this platform and told him we are the people of Liberia love you, but they're afraid of you because of the people that you brought on and what you people are doing to the Liberian people. They may love you, but they will vote against you. I said it on this platform. I said it even days to the election. When all you children got in the street and said, fix the country, that's all they asked. You're big them. You're naked Salisus. And Poker Rabba wanted to kill him. The woman has a woman said, no, you're carrying us and killing them until the press people came. I saw police walking, smiling. So no, I don't have. You're who running back and forth, apologizing. I have no apologies for Jefferson Koji. I don't. I saw Jefferson Koji. And I still have the picture. I still have the video. I got them because I screen recorded them. District 13, when he went over there and sent people to stone. Jeddah Museveni is doing in Uganda today. There was a woman on that scene that was murdered and put in a truck and disappeared and never came back. Weeks later, right there on the other side of the barracks, a man who wife was in labor in the hospital. They were sitting by a fire. Somebody opened fire on you to kill you, brought your truck, you pick him up. You didn't talk. Y'all want me to say the things that are happening because I can talk about it. Joel Howard Taylor, brother, call himself Reverend Guinness. I still have the recording of his daughter. It's on this phone. I have it here. Okay? In his house, Odia Sherman was beaten, tortured, and raped. That's somebody's child. I'm a mother of 4 children. No, I don't regret it. Y'all won't call immigration one another. Oh, by all means, you do. What's funny is we are all in camera. You saw the woman that they killed? That woman would be considered an all-American girl. White, red-headed, blue eyes. They shot her in broad daylight in her face 3 times. How about you? How about you? Okay? So when I talk and you come under my post and ask me if I regret, no, I don't. I will do it again. I want you to know that. When that journalist parked his car next to Jefferson Koji fence, I still got that video too. Where he gave comment, whatever he did, they beat up that journalist until the blood was pouring his face. I got that video. I got lots of videos. Even the group that he had together at Red Light that used to dress and wear the low breast stuff. I have those information. I have seen files upon files upon files of your funny Liberian people. So no, I may not be the one that cursed all of us now on the scene level. You think the U.S. government trusts me to call me twice to testify because I'm just a loose talker? No. You think I put my name that I worked for 40 some more years on the line to lie on somebody? Maybe you're a lie, but I didn't lie. The information that was given to me, the one that I confirmed is the one that I spoke to. And some of those, you can confirm them. The 4 auditors, they died on their own. Gifty Lama decided she will go on Broad Street, park her car in the middle of the street while her husband and children are home, sit in the car in broad daylight and have sex in broad daylight on Broad Street and sit in the car and die. Make it make sense. Why are we so wicked as Africans? Look in Minnesota. Look how the people have come together. Look at white, black, Chinese, Africans, everyone. For the very Somalian who was saying yesterday, some of them, they are not African. That were saying the Democrats forgot them. And they were going to vote for this guy. Hey, cuz. So no. If the question for you to me is, if I regret going to Washington and asking for the McGill and all of those people to be sanctioned, no. It was the duty of the Liberian government at the time to take that matter, investigate, and clear their name. Sanctions, and they say they're political. Yes, sanctions are trade barriers. They are political trade barriers that usually imposed by more than one nation. And when sanctions are imposed, they're imposed due to what? The trade barriers that are set in place for you to correct your action, usually based on corruption or human right abuse. And when those things happen, when you correct it, they remove you of sanction. Oh, yeah, I will. You're over there. I'll call you over the weekend, cousin Dada. The weekend, your niece and me running up and down. I have to finish some paperwork for some students before they turn over. The next 3 days, that's what I'm not going. I am so tired. I have so much to do. Okay. But I wanted to, and I wanted anybody, when you share this video tonight, okay, I will also put it under Susan post to let the people know who are asking me. No, I have no regret. If you ask me to do that again, given the circumstances, I will do it again. And I'm not coming here being emotional, apologizing to people. That's why I speak to the things that I speak to. Okay? Yes. Thank you, Sekou. I didn't. You see, if I were like some of you, the second round, where Joseph Boaka people were calling me, Papa Boaka go a long way. The people then who come in now cleaning today, that my papa, that my uncle, go way back. Go find out. If I were doing this for job, I would be in a different place. I'm a professional woman. This is not to brag, but those are facts. I pay my dues. I'm always flexible. I'm not static to train. When I first started in this country, I started in the warehouse. I started going to school. And then we got to the .com year. And then that bubble busted. Then we went back. Went to business, international business, got an MBA. That's not a small fleet. came back, went to school to become a teacher. When corporate didn't work so well for me, especially when I felt betrayed when my father died and they were telling me they need me to go to work. And I was trying to honor my father to take his body home. I decided not what I wanted to do. You know, for somebody who watched the birds, scratch farm, walk barefoot, they had gigant in my toes. For me to be able to change my tongue when I speak, and I'm considered a multi-language learner, I'm able to navigate a system that is totally unknown to me. I pat myself on the back. Waiting for my baby to finish school. And Wapaka will go what we need to do. If we need to come to Liberia, we need to go to Liberia. And we need to go live somewhere else, we'll go live somewhere else. Then we're going to need to go live Puerto Rico, Canada, Jamaica, whatever. We have to have flexibility. That's the gift. Love to be member though. That's the goal. So I'm not coming back. I don't regret it. So that's the question. Now let's go back to Liberia. I saw a snippet today about LACC indicting people. To tell you the truth, it's a distraction. Until the Liberian people learn to stand up against all these corrupt people that they keep hiring, we're doomed. That's just that. This weekend, we heard this is something that's supposed to send shockwave in the Liberian people. Seven men raped one little boy. No outrage. McGill. Brian McGill raped a 14 years old. Gregory Coleman came and lied to us and said they sent the little girl to the preferred hospital. They did all of the testing. They took the test according to you. He sent the test abroad. He came back almost 3 months later to say he was retaking the DNA to send it to Rwanda. We are asking him for the test result. He won't show it to cover Brian McGill. That's why the country is so messed up. You know, we are told the Liberian people in 2020, we were going to put a budget for 20 million to invest in, I think it's 2, medical infrastructure for DNA and testing, like a crime lab. I'm sure the people went in the middle of the night to tell you not to do it. One day I'm talking to somebody and I said, I thought Ellen was going to put these things in place. And the person was very close to Ellen. Said the Liberian women went there in the middle of the night and told Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, you're trying to embarrass us. We put in power to embarrass us. So she never did. Maybe the same group went and did it too. We are too. Now, let me tell you something. Me, I know this for sure. And I'm just telling you. I tell you over and over. Liberia is a country of statutory rapists and incest. Middle school girls, okay? In the world over, when you say Godfather means people who are your parents' helper, who will step in if something could happen to your parents. They will be there. Even if nothing happened to your parents, they will be there, that your parents can entrust you with. In Liberia, those are your molester. When you hear the word Godfather, they're talking about child molester. Men and women who chase after teenagers, people that are not in the age range, and their wives and their husband to blame the child that you supposed to be protecting. Okay, that's the country. So go back. Let's think about it this way. I'm almost 50. No, I'm almost 60. So let's say when I was 15, let's say I had a godfather that had a baby by when I was 15. So let's just say I'm 60. So Manos, okay, my 15 years after now, you know how old my child would be if I had a child at 15? That one of the godfather then that chasing people, children over there. You think about it. My brain not functional. So let's just do this. All right, let's do this. 60 minus 15. My child will be 45 years old. So let's say if my child at the time at 15 years old, okay, not I mean, had another child. I'm just telling you, giving you a picture of Liberia, okay? All right, so minus 15. So my grandchild will have a 30-year-old child, okay? That my great-grand. And let's say my great-grand have a child at 15. My great-great-grandchild will be 15-year-old. And some old Liberian men will be chasing that child. So you bring DNA machine to Liberia, we will all find out that we are all family. That's what we're afraid of. And not just the women. When the men are chasing the little girls, the women are chasing the little boys. Because they have the new mindset, two can play that game. That's what Liberia is. It's a country that is morally corrupt. Okay? Besides it having a financial bankrupt and a bankrupt mind, it is morally corrupt. That's the fact. Go find out in your middle school how many of your children there are still innocent, especially the public one. And some of the one, let's say the pie and man, then they tasted that. Go find out. I live in Liberia. I've been on both sides of the street. I've been on the side from the farm to the village. I've been in the city, in the big house with a pillow and with a veranda. I've been there. I've been to the point where I walk to school with my uncle them, my sister them. I've been to the one where the car dropped me off. So I've been on both sides of the house. I have worked in warehouse. I have worked in restaurant, West Illinois, and worked in the at the United Nations and the U.S. Congress. I work in the vice president office in Liberia. So yes, I know it. So when we make it about women, it's not about, it's about our morality. And we don't want to look in the mirror. Most Liberian, it don't even matter up in Nigeria. We are all connected. You will find out. If you find some of the people, especially the B-star them, B-star, how you call them, okay? If you did DNA, you will find out those who are being in power along the way, some of them be sleeping with their own grandchildren. They will have the same lineage. That makes sense to you who live outside the country or those who have with their morals. But that's the fact. That's just a fact. I saw Councillor Gonglo talking about he's challenging the results of Brian McGill, and the funny thing is, Gregory Coleman's job is not to be the judge, the executioner, and the jury. Hell is not his job. He's a freaking police officer, police director. His job is somebody is accused to bring that case out there, okay? Let the court decide. He does not get to be the judge, the jury, and the executioner. That's the role he played. And he, in my opinion, I don't give a fig who he is. He's corrupt, and one day he will pay, okay? He's walking around like he's God in Liberia. We watch children Maljustice, women beat him and molested him in broad daylight. He acted like he didn't see them. We saw young people riding motorbike, stoning people to death. He acts like he didn't see them. He looked away. But he also would walk around with people looting the nation, the very people who leave our children without food and leave them no choice but to steal. Okay, there he goes. And he walks away. That's not his job to look away. His job is to bring people to justice. That's his job. Now, I'm going to go, because my time here is not long, I'm going to go shortly to Rwanda. Not Rwanda, Uganda. Museveni's son is on Twitter threatened to kill Bobby Wine. Already confessed to killing 22 members of the people who were washing his pool. We're reporting he had killed over 500 of them, all got them. And I will show you a little picture here, okay? Facebook, all of you, viewer discretion is advised. I just want to make sure it is that, all right? Because I'm not sure who are watching. So let me do here. Viewer discretion is advised because this is, they're torturing people. Okay, I want you to see this. This is what we went through. I remember in Liberia, Wogapi Tapia, beaten, taken to drag under the mansion. We are told the body was eaten by a lion. All right, we are told that. We are told that, y'all remember Wogapi Tapia from Soup, Adolphus Dolo brother or cousin. These are, and when I wrote earlier and I said to y'all, Africa's enemy is Africans. The leaders that have taken over Africa are African. They are the ones who have continued to kill the continent, okay? This is Ugandan soldier burning plastic bag and wasting it on another Ugandan. All the one is what you all call democracy, the voices to be heard. Do you see here? And somebody recorded them. You see right there? You see that man? You see them? The burning this man. Burning. You see how much they're doing that? You see what they're doing here? You see? They're burning this man. This is in Uganda. If you are a person, Christian, God-fearing, even you believe in human being, please make a post calling the world attention. Plastic bag, they're burning it. They man taking is tied behind him with those rubber tie. You can see the man shaking. The other person who hand is there is taking them to take off his clothes and waste that rubber plastic under his arm. You see how wicked we are to one another. When I see y'all yelling, okay, and talking about what white people doing, okay, white people doing. See how you treat each other, how you treat one another, how we relate to one another. Museveni took over after Idi Amin Obote. He came, he said they cheated in an election. Museveni said they cheated him. He went into the bushes. He came back. The people joined in and how he took over. The first time he was interviewed, Museveni told us that Africa problem is leaders staying in power forever. Saying that man took over. America have 8 presidents. Let me name them to you. Reagan, Clinton, Bush, no, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, 5. Donald Trump, 6. Biden, 7. Now Donald Trump, 8. America have had 8 presidents since that man took over. Since he took over, let me tell you, in communication, how much advancement has been made. I'm not just going to give you the top 10, okay? Top 10 advancement in communication. Since Museveni took over, where he subject Africa or Uganda to where it is. Hold on, list. Top 10 innovation in communication. I'm not even doing computing, okay, in communication. So here we go. Since 1984, 86, okay? Oh, I'm sorry. All right, I'm gonna tell you how many it is right now. Just for all, okay, brainstorm. Since 86, okay, the internet went public. All right, they have because at first it was only for defense purposes. The U.S. Army were using it. It went public. That's one thing, okay. In the late 80s to 1990, the open internet to the public, transforming communication into instant global exchange of information. The mobile phone was created. Communication became portable, personal, and immediate, any dependence on landline. So we move, and then we move completely, literally, from analog to digital. Since Museveni being in power. Okay, here we go. The email, we replace postal mail and fax businesses and personal communication worldwide. Since Museveni took over. We got what? Social media platform. We have the X, however you want to call it. We got TikTok, we got WhatsApp, we got Instagram, we got Teams, okay? You name it. You have Zoom, all right? You got different applications. Now, we have got the instant messaging. None of this were invented in Africa. Why African presidents sit on the neck of the young people who can innovate, they can change the world, create jobs. How do you think Zuckerberg created all of these jobs? People invested in him, okay? 7, video calling, virtual meeting, Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, Teams, made face-to-face communication possible across the continent. Satellite communication, GPS, enabling global broadcasting, okay? Navigation, disaster response and military coordination, okay? Cloud computing, file sharing, Google Drive, Dropbox, iCloud, made collaboration instant and location independent, okay? Artificial intelligence in communicating, AI, transforming voice recognition, and chat box in real time, capturing block language and accessibility. Since Museveni, you know what advancement have come up in the medical field? We have had open heart surgery, okay? And I can go on and on. All right, so let me tell you that now. And his son now think he will inherit the presidency, okay? So for medical, MRI, advanced medical imaging, CT scan, and PET scan have become more precise, allowing doctors to detect diseases earlier and non-invasively, okay? Minimally invasive robotic surgery, all of this since they may be in power, and none of this came from your country, all right? These are all the advancement how it changed. I can tell you under which president, either here or in the other people country, that those things were made possible. And we're still here. Good evening, Asata. Good evening, ma. All right. Good afternoon, Lawrence. So I'm asking those of us, I'm a war survivor. As such, what I saw happen to my people, listen, let me tell you something. The mirror has two faces, all right? Where you see, where you know, and where I know, because I will not in every place. I'm speaking from my vantage point. And all of us, you know, when Prince Johnson died, people were saying, don't do that, don't do that. I said, those who they was their hero, you let them grieve. Those who he was the monster, you let them speak. Okay, that particular video, I think I had almost 40,000 people watch that video. I didn't screen record it, I just left it. When Prince Johnson died. Okay, the mirror has two faces. I live in Monrovia. I spent my pre-teen, my teen years in Monrovia. I've been here all my adult life. I was in Monrovia when 1985 happened. I was there when 1984 happened, when 1983 happened. I can carry on. When 1990 happened, I was there. I know how many family I lost. I was there when Move or Be Removed, Grady Allison, when they went on LU campus and beat up a student and raped girls, and they were intimidated. They could not speak. Some of them could not even go to the hospital. I know I have a family whose fiancé ended up committing suicide from that LUA. I was in a house where my mother hit my brother, where the Liberian government army came to our house. We were little. My mom put me and my sibling in the same house. We are analog black and white TV. And put it there. All the children in the community, at least in that particular compound, was sitting together. When Liberian army came with their guns, like I'm seeing, the trauma out of Liberia is too much. We bend knife, big old knife to the mouth, and start juking it in the ceiling, all over yelling. Today, when I see soldiers, I stay tremble. My mother, our family have to dig holes. And my brother, on the crime, he spoke up. He was in soup. He was going to LU. So I know. Like I said, the mirror has two faces. Other people have their side of the story. Those who the government were good for during the PRC-led government, it is their story. This is my story. And one thing that we have to learn as African, as Liberians, is to learn to listen to each other. Listen and feel for other people. Don't listen to respond. Okay? Listen to understand. Listen to understand where is this person coming from? What is this? Because we are shaped by our experience. You can't tell me my story is not real and I don't feel it. And I can't tell you that, how you call it. I remember the night before, the evening before the Luchu Compound massacre. The people that came to our house prior to. And the USAID director had come and said, call if you don't want to leave, we'll come and we'll get the children and pack us up and take us to the MSA, to the director house. Giving money to go to T Church supermarket to buy food. I chartered the taxi that took me and went to go get my uncle. I still remember what he said to me when he cried. He said to me he didn't want to put my life in jeopardy, but he's sure he was not going to make it. But he said to me, if you go and they don't give you a hard time, come back tomorrow, will come. Tomorrow never came. That night they attacked the Lutheran compound and the Methodist compound, where they killed all of those people. That is my story. You can't tell me it don't exist. You can't tell me I didn't live it. And you know what? And when you're sit, those of y'all who family have looked at this nation, who have had an opportunity to change and redirect the nation for Your soul, meaning it's you, your family, and yourself. When people tell you, say somebody you're jealous. I listened to one girl say, Liberian people like to point finger too much. They when they're jealous of people, nobody stop you for building your own houses. The thing is, your mom didn't build a house when she was selling the market. She didn't build a house. Your pa didn't build a house when you were making a farm. He built it when he worked for the government. When he went to work for the people, to encourage the people to make their lives better. Okay, he didn't do that. But I came to say to you, if you can make a post today, especially those of us who survived the war in Liberia. I remember the 1985 election. When Emmett Hammer had to get on the flight and leave him and his children and leave us for death. When John G. Ransom told Doe he must stay in power, the strategy for Doe to stay in power forever. Sometimes our leader don't intend the evil. They come with good heart, good intention. But these people come, these evil people come and they surround them, they cover them for their own greed, and they shield them, and they make them evil, and they make devil out of them. That's what they do. You see the kind of people, look at the other 86 years old, he can't even walk. They say he won his seat. We saw people, I mean, the videos are too much, a screen recording. Right now, I have a lot to do, so I don't have the time to go sit down to stitch the video together. Listen, every time you pull these things, it's a lot. Even if you just try to screen record one video, you got to sit there, make sure the measurement is concise, you have to connect it. It's a lot of what people don't understand. But let me talk to Liberian people. Next month is my birthday. My birthday is on the 14th. One thing is I'm going to post here. I need everybody who follow or support me to make a donation to my platform, at least so I can go ahead and pay for a few months. I pay every month out of pocket, as long as you know me in the last 10, 11 years, every month to stay on here. I pay for the internet, the bandwidth. I pay for the application. I came from using Zoom to StreamYard, okay, and I pay for that every month. But we'll start talking about it next week. Now, hey, Marcus. Oh, nice. Yes, it's Sasato, Alex. Hey, everyone. Hey, Seku, Cousin Dada. Okay, here we are. Yes, it's Rebecca. Yes. Okay. So I will ask you, you saw what I just played. All right. I will ask you, please say something about the people in Minnesota. Say something about the people in I'm going to play this video again. This is Uganda. This is Museveni people. These are Ugandans who are beating and want to kill another Ugandan. Y'all see what they're doing today, man? They tie his hand and they're wasting rubber, plastic bag. That thing is cut into that man's skin, okay? And there's nothing he can do about it. See what your expression is the vast. You see that? You see that? You see that? Took the clothes off his back. Took the clothes off his back. That's what they're doing here. That's what these people are doing. This is how we are wicked to one another. Africa problem. Africa enemy does not come from outside. It's within Africa. We are the killers of dreams. A nation that is so blessed. I'm yet to hear from United Nations. We are yet to hear. The first thing is stupid AU, okay, went ahead and said they congratulate who? Museveni did not win any election. He knows that he did not. His son is running around haywire, okay, and threaten to kill people. How many people he had already killed? That's how brave. Like I remember when Samuel Kedo got on the air and say, your Nima people, you come, you go get your children, and you don't get them, nobody will survive. We cannot speak like that. That's
good-hearted citizens of this world.
Hold on. It's documented. I'm not trying to incite. This is where we've been. And we have to, I teach history. The reason the white people are able to not just white people, but the rest of the world is able to manipulate us is because we refuse to tell our own story. When we tell our story, we are able to find solution. This is not to do anything. We'll find solution. Then we learn that so we don't go back to. I don't own copyright to this video, but this.
Please do not scroll because a lot of Ugandan lives are dependent on this video. First of all, I'd like to begin by humbly appreciating you for sharing the first video after I kindly requested you to. Never underestimate a simple share. In order for change to happen, it just takes the right ears to listen. In my previous video, I mentioned civil war. I want to rectify on that. It's actually a silent genocide because it's only one side doing the killing here. Millions of Ugandans went to the polls. We were told it was elections, but what we got was a siege. Whilst the world was told everything was peaceful, the internet was cut, the lights were switched off, and bullets started flying. The Ugandan security forces are shooting live bullets at unarmed citizens. This is not a political debate. It's an unfair fight. On one side, you have mothers, students, and workers using nothing but their voices. And on the other side, you have a regime that has spent decades perfecting the art of fear. There's also a strategy here that the world needs to understand. This regime often uses forces that have no connection with the communities they are attacking. But why do you think this is? It's because they don't want this soldier to look at the protester and see a brother. They want this soldier to look at the protester and see an enemy. They're using distance to make murders effortless because they know that soldier would not find it difficult to aim his gun at a young boy, at a young girl, at a mother. Civilians are being told not to attack security personnel because it's breaking the law. But the police and the military are firing shots recklessly at civilians, and that is breaking the law. But they're manipulating the people not to defend themselves whilst they wipe them out. Ugandans are really tired, and we've come to the conclusion to believe that those external institutions and governments, they're either keeping a blind eye or they're busy fixing other problems. And by the time they choose to give us their attention, we might not be alive to speak. Or the tribes that are being secretly eliminated in Uganda, they may not be alive to give their side of the story. I call on all the God-fearing governments on this globe, the governments that have respect for human rights and value human life, to support the Ugandan civilians so they can at least have a fair and equal fight against this demonic regime that is pouring blood on the streets of Uganda for no good-hearted citizens of this world. Please do not.
I wanted to share that young man post, and this go to all of you, all of us, and the people of Uganda. I'm going to send you this message. My name is Yacindy Martin for you. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm an educator, I'm an advocate for women and children. I call myself a humanist, I'm a patriot, I'm a Pan-Africanist. I truly, truly believe our strength is in our unity. I believe if there's no enemy within, nobody can conquer us. I also believe, as Kwame Nkrumah said, only us Africans can save Africa. We need an African solution to our problem. And the people who do not remember who they are, the culture, the root, the tradition. They're like a tree with no roots. I believe in humanity. So I'm standing with the people of Uganda. And I want the people of Uganda to understand. At almost 60 years old, I live every day with the stress, the anxiety, the trauma of war, of dictatorship, of not knowing if you walk the street, if it would be your last day. Although it's everywhere, but when it's that setting almost that you will not make it home, that you have to hide your identity, that you walk the streets and see people that you went to school with, people that live in your neighborhood, body on the street. When children cannot be children anymore, when you have no control over your own body or your own mind, and people will think for you, and people will tell you what it will do to you. I know that because I live it. We live it. Most Liberians don't want to remember. So they do the same thing. I remember the day ECOMOG tried to land at the seaport. It was me and my little brother in Arizona, Junior. I told you guys this story. I would tell this story until the day I take my last breath. I remember the Taylor group shooting to make sure that ECOMOG did not land. Prince Johnson on a group, Doe on a group. There were 3 groups shooting at that time. I remember this lady right there in that market with a baby on the back. The baby was shot. This is 1990. How many years is that? My brain not functional. $36 years? Yes, 36 years later. I still imagine that lady, the color of her lapa, taking her baby from her back and lowering it really slowly. Without looking back. I still remember as she walked, literally like a zombie, and faded away into the crowd. Out of the confusion, people yelling and screaming everywhere. I still remember that. I told this story over and over. I will say it in my last breath. If that woman lived today, she still imagine that baby would have been at least 36, 37 years old. She died that day. That baby was not buried. She was not the only one. If it was a she or he. So I know the pain of not knowing. I know. I know the pain of not knowing you will even make it home. That particular day, my brother and I, because of the confusion, the guns, we separated. I could not leave him to go home because we didn't tell what Oman was going to survive it. He could not leave me and go home. So as the shooting subsided, in the night you could at least see the bullets or the bazooka coming, or the duru, whatever this was that it was shooting. In the daytime you couldn't see. As I was looking, most people say my voice is distinct. That's how Limanu heard my voice. They had saw my brother and told him to wait. And we made it home that night. When we got home, our Oma was sitting on the step, rocking herself, not knowing what to expect, not knowing she would see us. My prayers go out to the people of Uganda, to the children that may never grow. I pray for Bobby Wine to find strength to continue to fight for his people. I said a few days, even on the work, with everything that is happening here, my trauma level is elevated. My stress level is very high. I'm not able to rest, not able to sleep. I will continue to speak because somebody spoke for me. Somebody spoke for us. Elizabeth Brown never gave up on us. She continued to speak. I remember that yesterday, the day that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf were interviewed, BBC reporter Elizabeth Brown was in the same house with us. In fact, she was sitting what we'll call the piazza or the veranda in the UC director house in the front, where the American children would sit crisscross, have her leg crisscross, sitting there and doing the interview on the phone or whatever she was calling from and making a telephone for the MSA. I remember the day they say level the National Rebuild building in 1990. I've been blessed and I've been cursed. I had an opportunity to find myself in places that I never imagined. Cross path. I just want to tell the Liberian people and everyone else, as I leave this, I'm going to go work. Those of you who are calling immigration one another, because some of you feel UP own the lives and livelihood of Liberia, or that CDC own the life and livelihood and the survival of Liberia, that the wrong that happened yesterday, you don't want to acknowledge it. Let me say to all of you, UP, CDC, Liberia does not belong to you. Our life does not belong to any of you. All of us just want to coexist. When you do wrong and you wouldn't even acknowledge it, okay? And you all walk around and make this thing like war. On the CDC regime, plenty things happened. People died. Children died. People, husbands died. People's daughters died. And under the UP-led government, rape have been re-elevated to something just as it was in during the last 12 years, raping our boys. No more lasting, raping boys. Or harassing them and coercing them to keep a job. Some men must sleep with them. To pay their school fee to get scholarship, they must sleep with somebody. And the little girls, just stop it. You don't add that your CDC key and did everything right, and people just turn against them. That's a lie. That's a lie. When you beat up the LU children and naked out ones, stone them, you people have not come and said, listen, we made a mistake, Liberian people. We know you love our president. We made a mistake. Okay? But you think that in your life, then people can't sit down. Listen, everything that I did, if you put me in a position again, I will do it all over again. Princess Cooper was killed, vomited with her whole intestine. You throw her behind on a plum tree. You took the foreigners that killed her and took them out of the country. The one boy that was speaking on her behalf, you're talking because you were talking to me, you're locking up and free him for rape. We don't know. You stole all the money, what most of you stole and brought to this country. Saying UP decided they will not prosecute you. Majority of your people carrying back now, they're millionaire, they're investor, they're going to Liberia. We know some of us have opportunity to look at those money. Some they will get the right government in place and they will find those money. So y'all want to sit down and call police on one another and call immigration on one another. Kudos, nothing new. Some of us who survived the war, we know it. Neighbors were calling. First, when the PRC government was in place, those who were friendly with them were calling the soldiers to come and murder their neighbor. Then when the rebel then came, the people then who family people were in rebel, they called the other people who thought they not settled now to kill one another. So there's nothing new for y'all Liberian people. So y'all go ahead and do it. Myself, somebody had threatened me before. When I first came to the country, they call immigration. Please, by all means, y'all do. Maybe when we all go with that revolution, y'all by all means, y'all do. Okay? I said what I wanted to say earlier, and I said it. All right? Let me tell you something. The evil that you do, it will follow you. It may not follow this generation, it may not follow you, but it will eventually follow you. Eventually, it will follow you. I have never met people as wicked as Liberians or Africans. Yes, I'm not talking about other creed, okay? The white people or other people fight for their race. Black people fight for their tribe, especially African people. We fight for our tribes. Everything with all is tribe. So y'all sit on social media, y'all call one another, y'all call immigration and get each other. You see, those of you who know me, I'm always in my house. I like to be alone. When people come, as I see you, I entertain you, I joke, I leave you to go. Good evening, my dear. I leave you to go. I don't have the place where I'm running here and there, where I'm taking my secret out. Ask anybody who knows me. Have I ever called anybody and tell you, my husband did it? No, that's not your business. That's not your business. I am the only queen in my house. I'm the only bee in my house. I'm the only mother of my children in my house, okay? And that's that. So your call. Y'all call police on one another. Y'all call immigration on one another. That's fine. I said what I needed to say. But let me say it to you, the CDC and the UP. Liberia will live after y'all. Okay? CDC, if you are done what the people put you there for, at least the first 2-3 years, today y'all will still be in power. But y'all got so greedy, so short-sighted. Your power went to your head. I know what I said about Jefferson Koji, and I still stand with it because I still got my videos, I still got my transcript, I still got them. You who lie, go ahead and apologize, but I know I didn't lie. Okay? And I will say this to Jefferson Koji, those who chasing you to go run for government, all right? Go to school. The other money where you got sitting here that get black on it, clear your name so they can give you money to you. Do something with it. Open business with it. Yes, you do have money here that has a blockade. Folks, and not everything you can talk. Okay? How you want to explain to me somebody who yesterday could not afford to pay $50 rent, buys a $300,000 home or built it overnight? How do you explain to me how a nation with 90% unemployment, Lord, they probably $15,000 and $20,000 a month and get cars? And then you want us to sit here and pretend that it is okay. And some of y'all act like their position here, that your mind and part their position. So the other people who came there now, so you better you're carrying on. I'm talking to all of you. I'm talking about CD station and the UPNs, UP people want the running propaganda. And better, you say hello, the whole group come on face to cost you. Y'all were there before. You ain't do jack. Your store, y'all went broke, y'all ran by. The people gave you an opportunity. Instead of paying attention to the people and say, we'll do it right this time, you're not doing it. Instead of CDC to turn around and tell the Liberian people, listen, you trusted us. We were supposed to be the fighter who understood the masses, who understood what is happening in our country. Some of us have struggled. So we apologize the way we created. The other day I heard my son, Winter saying, oh, Josh, we are brought you. They said, Josh, we didn't bring you. They said, you don't mislead our people. UNICEF ambassadors are usually picked based on, okay, presence, influence, okay, to be a face and a voice, like a role model for places, all right? George, we are doing our war, was one name out of Liberia that stood out. They hired him. And they gave him the platform to use his voice on behalf of the Liberian people. That's what he did. So he didn't bring them. UNICEF is already in Liberia. United Nations already in Liberia. United Nations had a precursor called what do you call it? The what do you call it? Not OAU. What the other one is? The League of Nations. Okay. And after the World War II, we got a United Nations. So y'all stop it. Just stop miseducating our people. That's wrong. That's wrong. Good evening, Jala. So when you're talking, when you go out, they say he who learns must teach. When you acquire knowledge, make sure, okay, when you're talking to our people who are just coming to take your time and educate them, don't lie to our people. You all lie too much in our country, okay? And you may not mean to lie, but that's not the story. George, we did not bring what do you call it? UNICEF to Liberia. UNICEF hire him to be the face, the voice, just like they do everybody else. Okay? Because he was the one positive thing during the war that was visible out of Liberia. Now, let me say to you and CDC, instead of running all over the place with arrogance, entitlement, that your mind and power then created Liberia. Now, let me tell you something. They need Liberia, they didn't come from the Liberian people, it didn't come from the indigenous people. When the slave population in America had gotten more and more, and they were rebellious, and the people here were getting afraid, okay? And the abolitionists, they were the people who didn't want slaves, okay? They were trying for dignity of the Black people. People were giving option, or whatever they want to call it. They say they wanted to get them out, all right? places that they wanted to carry them, they didn't agree. Liberia was the place that they found that they went to. Y'all look at your constitution. Let me see where my constitution is. Usually I keep it in my bed. Y'all look at the preamble in the Liberian constitution. It says that Liberia was a country that's supposed to have been established for free slaves. It's a free slave state. It was established for Black Americans, or we call it Negro, or at the time they call it free men of color. Because after this, the Civil War, they created a bureau called the Freeman Bureau. That's why when the people first came to Liberia, they were changing name, Negro, free men of color. Okay, that's what the name was. Even here in Georgia, they have Freeman Bureau. So sometimes maybe we need to do that education. All right. So again, Liberia, that a country established for people. Some had left slavery right after. Okay. Even before Jim Crow to come and settle. So just stop it. Let's be Liberian first. And I always told y'all, there are not enough Native people in Liberia to change Liberia because we've seen it. The Native people have been there for 46 years. We're worse. The Congo people were there for 130 plus years. The same thing. They were in a hurry to get rich, to appear that they were rich, stealing. Okay? They built what do you call it? A class of their own. The very thing that they endure yet, they became just that. So there's not enough. And for me, this is me. The New Congo, for me, I think it's derogatory. I don't like it. And you see people knock their chest. As somebody who studied history, somebody who is an educator of history, a student of history, for me, it don't sound right to me. But for Liberia, for them, it's a class system for them. The thing is supposed to be like the full chain. Okay, I'm Congo, the person country. What that means, I don't know. Until we honor that we are Liberian first, all of us. I don't care if you're Jala, I don't care you're Johnson, you're Martin, you're Collins, okay? You're Wolokoli, you're Suakoli, you're Dan, okay? You're Nyempu, okay? Or you're what do you call it? What do you need? Soiree, all the other names, it does not matter. If we first see ourselves as Liberian and ready to do right by each other and by our country, we can live together. We can build Liberia. My time here is over. I'm going to go. That's 1 hour. King, you're welcome. Brother Richard, all of you, welcome. I'm going to call a night. I've been here more than an hour. I think I came at 24. I needed to stay for an hour. I'm going to take my... I want to do this, my YouTube. I usually forget to put a link. I don't remember my YouTube. So I'm not able to put it on my page, but people can find. If you can go there, you will find all the other videos that we made before. So here we are. So I want to say to all of you, thank you for tuning in. My name is Yacindy Martin. I'm asking you, please go out there and make a post about Uganda. And I said, the enemies within Africa have always been the leaders who come to power and refuse to do the right by our people. They sell the interest of the people for a shortcut for they and their family. So African leaders, majority of African leaders have been the enemies within. You can see that. John Mahama just came to power. The change, the impact he's made in 1 year and continue to update his people. Okay, a 33-year-old young man by the name of Ibrahim Traore came in. Look at the change that he made. Greater, okay? Mali, Niger experienced the first $1 trillion increase since its inception in their mineral wealth. There's enough in Africa for all of us to coexist, to live well, like they're doing in Saudi Arabia, the desert island. I mean, the desert kingdom that was just yesterday, today is an oasis. It takes dreamers. It takes patriots. It takes people with principle, people who are willing to roll up their sleeve. Starting tomorrow morning, we will talk. And one last thing, you think, I hear somebody say, DeLon and Nyomli finger the document for the port autonomy. What does that mean? What does it mean? Do you remember how the law on commies, the Nyomli, the DeLon, to get to where they are? The time will come. Liberians, February is my birth month. February, we're going to go live. We're starting a movement, not a political party, but a political action party, a PAC, okay? And the goal is to vet. Folks, we need to come together. We need to work. We need a referendum. We need to reduce the term limit in Liberia. Okay, we need to start vetting people who want to run. We need to make it our business. It is our business. Liberia is our business. Just see what is going on here. I've seen Native Americans are being arrested. So you're who calling immigration people, they're arresting and detaining Native American and they're disappearing. Remember, the person you report, if they are not dead, people will not just be moving on like you all do. Some of us don't move on because like when people you're going to say, let's move on. No, we don't. Call us unforgiving. We just don't move on. Some of us don't. Okay, so I just want you to know that. Because some of the people that they arrest, they don't get to come back. And you don't get to say, I'm sorry, let's just move on. You don't. Just like the people you murdered during the war. And you expect people to just move on. You expect for people to just move on. That's not the way life works. Okay? So I'm going to end with this video right here. And I will say good night. Good night, everyone.
Complicity. When a dictatorial regime shuts down internet during elections, it is not maintaining order. It is suffocating truth. When Ugandan citizens are being beaten, arrested, and brutalized for demanding their rights to vote, that is not internal affairs. That is crime against democracy and human dignity.
With President Museveni's gains protected by force through the military led by his own son.
People keep getting picked up by the military and the police as they move out and riot against what they're saying is already a stolen election. We've had tear gas, we've heard live rounds, stun grenades. It's all happening in the heart of the capital city.
The internet blackout is a weapon. It hides violence, buries evidence, and isolates a nation like Uganda, which is crying for help.
Support for opposition leader Bobi Wine is a dangerous sentiment, with men being beaten and taken away. And even our filming is no longer welcome.
We're pulling out of the city center. We've been held by dozens of military officers, heavily armed, who told us we were not allowed to film, that this is not election day. We were threatened and eventually released, but it's been made very clear that they don't want the world to see what they're doing here in Kampala today.
Every hour of silence from the international community emboldens repression and tells dictators that power matters more than people. You issue statements, express concerns, and then move on, while Ugandans die in the dark. History will not remember your press releases. It will remember where you stood on the side of justice or comfort. Remember, democracy does not die overnight. It is killed slowly by fear, by batons, by silence. If human rights is universal, then Uganda matters. I'm out. International community, your silence is no longer neutral.